Live again from Omaha, Nebraska. Welcome as ESPN proudly presents the 40th NCAA Volleyball Championship. Last of the regional semifinals, and all focus will be on the Bluegrass State as the Hilltoppers of Western Kentucky take on the number 2 seeded Kentucky Wildcats. The winner gets the Purdue Boilermakers on ESPN2. Tomorrow night, Pittsburgh, an upset. Number 3 seed Minnesota is out of the tournament. Washington, a remarkable comeback to take out Louisville. Purdue, very close 3-1 victory over Oregon. And now we get ready for the nightcap. And if you like offense, you're in the right place. Hi again, everybody. Thanks so much for staying with us. I'm Paul Sunderland out in Southern California. In Austin, Texas is 3-time All-American Salima Rockwell. And Salima, these two teams are number 1, Kentucky, number 2, Western Kentucky in terms of offensive efficiency. How do they get to those lofty numbers? Because they do it very, very different in terms of their style.
Well, when you start with Kentucky, you look at, they can just overwhelm teams with their firepower. Every single player on their team can hit with range and hit with power and absolutely unload on the ball. Western Kentucky has a little bit different offense, a slower set in the middle, a faster ball to the pin. So if you're not used to training against it, it can really catch you off guard. And I think that's why both teams have had such success so far in the season.
Hitting percentages, look at the set win percentages, 92 and 90 respectively. Lauren Matthews, last year, she led the nation in hitting efficiency at 458. This year she fell way off, Salima, to 445.
Yeah, she's only hitting 445. I tell you what, this is the player that we're talking about that hits so high in the middle of the court. A high, slow 2 ball, but it's not just that she's high. She has vision, she has range, she sees the block well.
And who sees everything, the game develop. The setter of the year, the player of the year, number 3 in white, Madison Lilly for the Kentucky Wildcats.
Well, and Madison Lilly has so many weapons to set, but I tell you what, she has done such a phenomenal job of running this offense. She knows who to set, when to set them, and Coach Craig Skinner says, I've given her the reins to run the offense on her own.
19th meeting all time between the Wildcats and the Hilltoppers. The Wildcats lead the all-time series with 14 wins. And the only meeting in the NCAA tournament was in 2017, and that turned out to be a real classic. 3-2 in Lexington by the white-clad Wildcats. And immediately, good offense, side-out score, and we're underway in this best 3 out of 5 set match. Middle hitter on the slide, Elise Goetzinger, 6'4" freshman out of Blue Mounds, Wisconsin, puts the ball away. Here is Lilly and Salima. What should people look for early in terms of teams establishing their style over their opponent? Maybe from the service line would be a good idea.
That might be a good idea. And Kentucky is a very good serving team. Actually, they both are very good serving teams, so they're going to try to pull each other off the net. But for Western Kentucky, they're going to want to run that ball quick to the pins and not allow the Kentucky block to get set, and then do what they do in the middle right away with a nice high slow ball to Matthews.
Madison Lilly, again wearing number 3 in white, 5'11" senior out of Overland Park, Kansas. That was her 27th ace before missing that serve out of bounds. Abby Hood, 5'6" junior, defensive specialist out of Morris, Illinois, will come on to serve for the first time for the Hilltoppers. 23-0 so far on the year. First look, did it go off the top of the tape? Yes, it did. Off the top of the tape, into a blocker and out of bounds. And Lauren Matthews picks up her first kill for Travis Hudson, alumni at Western Kentucky in his 26th season. 20 straight 20-win seasons, 8 30-win seasons, only 14 times a conference coach of the year. Boy, that's a nice swing. Maddie Skinner, another top freshman out of Katy, Texas, and there no relation is Craig Skinner, now in his 16th year. The winningest coach in Kentucky history, now 4 times, including this year, the SEC Coach of the Year, 16th straight NCAA tournament, lost to Washington in the regional semifinals back in 2019. A long run off the swing, nice! Good save, but Allie Stumler could not keep the ball alive after a very good run by the libero, Gabby Curry.
So you're going to see a lot of this by Gabby Curry tonight. She is one of the best liberos in the country, hustling, making a play on that ball, keeping it alive. Excited to see her dig some more balls tonight.
Curry, 5'8" senior out of Buford, Georgia, for the 3rd year in a row. She was the libero, the best defender of the year in the SEC. Quick set to the outside, and you're going to see an awful lot of that. Allie Stumler, 6'1" junior out of Floyd's Knob, Indiana. Just an outstanding all-around volleyball player.
She gets on the ball fast. She gets on it hard and high. And Stumler is very, very difficult, especially when she has a split block. She's going to score.
Swing to the outside. Nice play. Madison Lilly stretching out, but that ball did not clear, and it'll be 4 contacts. Western Kentucky was unseeded. They defeated Jackson State 3-0 in the opening round, and then upset the number 15 seed Washington State Cougars 3-2. And in that match, have you seen Washington State this year? They are tall, long, talented, really good team. And Western Kentucky hit 300 against them. That was very impressive.
It was so impressive, and I think that speaks to how they see the block and how they're able to hit around the block. Again, they're not just throwing this ball up there and hitting high and over blindly, doing a smart job seeing the defense. That's what Western Kentucky does. That's what they train every day.
Logan Cale, the libero, 5'7" senior out of Knoxville, Tennessee, for the Hilltoppers. Both teams handling the ball pretty well so far. Oh, good hustle. Trying to chase that down was Ashley Hood, but it'll be point possession to Kentucky. Very even start, goes without saying at 5-all. Lauren Tharp, 5'6" junior defensive specialist out of Louisville. Played every match as a DS last year. Very experienced Kentucky team. Highest they have ever been seeded. That ball missed into the tape by Paige Briggs.
Looks like she was going for a sharp cross-court shot that wasn't available right then. Looking to avoid the block right now.
Remember number 1 in black for Western Kentucky, Paige Briggs, only 5'10", sophomore out of Ortonville, Ohio, is an outstanding all-around volleyball player. Plays a huge role for Western Kentucky, as does Allie Stumler, ripping into the cross court.
She just winds up and goes after it. You watch Stumler, a beautiful set by Lilly. She goes hard into that middle of the court.
And I know you appreciated that. Madison Lilly, even on a ball that was coming a little off the net, still got one-on-one on the outside. Service error here for Kentucky. Once again, Kentucky hits 364. Western Kentucky 353. Wisconsin, if you're wondering, even playing in the Big Ten, they're 4th in terms of offensive efficiency. Been an amazing day of volleyball here in Omaha. Zani Teeler, 5'10", middle blocker, hitting 470 so far on the year. Just incredible usage and versatility for number 15 in white.
We're going to watch her move around. They're going to set her on the right, set her high balls in the middle, just really just maximize her ability to jump and score over the top of the block.
Free ball for Kentucky. Watch the choices. Stumler out of the backcourt. Nice pokey by Western Kentucky. Another perfect contact. Oh, what a good block on the outside. Kaylin Jackson, the 5'11" senior out of Indianapolis, working kind of one-on-one that time on Avery Skinner.
It's a nice
got a piece on the way out.
She sure did. Lined up on her nicely. She knew she was going to go cross court and just held her position, didn't reach at all.
And if you're wondering, yes, Avery is the older sister of Maddie Skinner. They wear number 4. Avery, the 6'1" senior out of Katy, Texas. Maddie wears number 2. Good pass, ripped down the line, quick arm. Both teams kind of what you'd expect. Western Kentucky hitting 333. They're actually out hitting Kentucky right now. Good serve and a really good pass as well. Chance in transition. Off the edge of the block again, and this is Western Kentucky volleyball at its best. Really quick swing by Jackson.
Kaylin Jackson just does such a nice job on the right side for Western Kentucky. She hits the ball down the line. She can tool off the edge of the block, and that's why they're efficient from every single position on the court.
First look at Katie Eisenbarger, the 6-foot junior out of Zionsville, Indiana. Quick again, good block. Getzinger was waiting that time on Matthews.
You see Skinner able to jump back in and help. She's hanging in there waiting for that ball, so they know that it can go to her as well.
Western Kentucky's passing the ball pretty darn well. Nice dig by Curry. Stumler out of the back row. One-on-one, stuck by Matthews.
I like the Matthews just hanging tight there, waiting for something to happen out of the back row. They know Stumler is a big part of that offense, so Matthews doing a nice job one-on-one.
2019 Player of the Year in Conference USA. Another really nice block, one-on-one. That ball stuffed against Skinner.
See if they look more for some matchups here. Western Kentucky starts a little bit closer to the pin. You can work some of it off the block.
If Skinner is on the right, the other Skinner is on the left, so you've got some pretty good choices. And Maddie Skinner, all SEC, hitting .384 on the season. There are so many good freshmen in the country in this tournament, and she is one of them. Good pass by Briggs. High flat shot, sounded like a touch. The ball was called out of bounds. No touch detected. Remember, on these close calls, the coaches have 3 challenges in the match, or at least through the first 4 sets. And then if we go the distance, each team will get an additional challenge. Here is Rhea Walker, 5'10" freshman out of Florida. Right on cue with a really nice defensive play for the Wildcats, creating the opportunity.
Well, so what I like, you see the Kentucky blockers are there inside waiting for Matthews, and left back comes in for that tip. That's exactly how it should work. When that left side blocker comes in, you're responsible for that tip. Executed perfectly.
Walker again. Judenet. Nadia Judenet, the 5'8" senior setter of the year in Conference USA out of Louisville, Kentucky. There she is, number 2 in black, getting the job done, getting her team out of that rotation. Very, very close to the vest has this opening set been played. There you see, averaging almost 12 assists per set, almost the exact same number as her counterpart Madison Lilly. Nice dig, Logan Kao, the libero, and transition opportunity.
Unbelievable defensive effort by Logan Kao in the back row. She flies in there with a perfect dig right on target. And this is what they want to do, is transition, give Matthews time to get off the net. She sees the block and hits it in the deep corner.
That is the perfect example of a slick, a slow, quick. And we talked to Travis Hudson the other day. Where did this offensive concept come from? And he said, look, I was an undersized middle attacker. I kept getting blocked because it was all setter driven. What if you just lob the ball up to me and let me go to work? And so now he plays slow in the middle and fast to the outside. And that's the way the game's going a little bit. Very, very innovative. Oh, what a rip down the line by Skinner.
Well, Skinner, we talked about her being a freshman. Again, one of the best freshmen in the country. Just watching how she plays the game and her range and her vision as well. Unbelievable.
We have come to the media timeout. As we imagined, a really solid battle for the Commonwealth. Just underway, the final regional semifinal, if you will, the last one. Kentucky on top of Western Kentucky. That patch in honor of Alyssa Cavanaugh, one of the great players of all time at Western Kentucky. Season is dedicated to her memory. Briggs still very quiet offensively, hadn't really had a good chance, but doing it at the defensive end. Nice block by Paige Briggs, #1, along with Lauren Matthews, #5 in black.
That's a nice move. It's difficult to do against Maddie Skinner over there on that side of the court.
Matthews will go to the sideline, already pretty productive, 2 of 4. Kentucky led it 15-13. The service error there by Western Kentucky. Like Wisconsin, the only 2 undefeated teams left in the country. Kentucky is 20-1. Their only loss was to Florida, and congratulations to the Florida Gators, advancing to their 17th regional final. They will take on the #1 seed Wisconsin Badgers tomorrow. Good pass by Kale. Look at Teeler. Block, deflection, and turning it right back at you.
That's it. And you're able to transition off of that move, come off the net, get around it, and still score. Look at her, this huge approach, and she sees the block, hits it even sharper than where Briggs was diving.
Biggest lead of the set now at only 3, 17-14. And Madison Lilly showing her quality again, one-on-one. Eisenbarger going behind the setter. She's able to put that ball away. She's an outstanding athlete. She was the high jump champion in Conference USA in 2019. Working on Stumler. Out of the back row, and did that tuck inside? No, that ball is 4 contacts, and so a miss by Skinner.
So Skinner's in this main part of the passing pattern to free up Stumler, and they serve that ball short and try to jam things up a little bit. You see they're both kind of running, Teeler and Stumler, to opposite sides of the court in that rotation.
Obviously, as the #2 seed, Kentucky is very, very talented, one of the favorites to win this championship, along with Wisconsin. Texas, Nebraska still involved, of course, and then Purdue will take on the winner of this match tomorrow. Congratulations to the Boilermakers. Lots of contenders, but Azani Teeler is really a unique player and personality. Her teammates just adore her, and she is so dynamic. I mean, what she does offensively, how does she get by at this level as a middle blocker under 6 feet?
Well, I mean, she jumps so well, and she can hit over and around the block, and almost, well, exactly like what Western Kentucky is doing with Matthews. They're not just running quicks with her. They're just going to lay it up there for her. Doesn't matter if she's a middle. She's just going to hit a high ball.
Yeah, it's not in the rule book that a middle blocker has to hit middle.
Nope. Look at the split hitters. You just have one on the left, one on the right, with Stumler coming out of the back row. You have enough firepower coming at you without running a quick attack.
Teeler, a perfect 4 for 4. Another beautiful pass. Skinner rolling short. Yeah, get off your wallet. Could not quite make the play defensively. Paige Briggs hustling back there, going right, and the ball went left. And the advantage is still 3 at 20-17. Best 3 out of 5 sets. These teams have such respect for one another. Travis Hudson and Craig Skinner are very, very close friends. Eisenbarger not getting enough heat on that overpass. Here's Skinner. And that cannot be dug.
Huge swing by Avery Skinner. Just a little too much heat for Western Kentucky to handle.
We showed you previously, coming out of the media timeout, the AC patches on the uniforms of Western Kentucky. Alyssa Cavanaugh was twice Conference USA Player of the Year, a 4-time All-American, and in 2017 was the Conference USA Female Athlete of the Year. She was stricken ill by leukemia, and she passed on Christmas Day in 2020 at the age of 24. You see her there, number 7. The last match she ever played in a Western Kentucky uniform was in 2017 against these same Kentucky Wildcats. She had 23 kills on 42 swings. Just a remarkable person, a remarkable athlete, and her coach Travis Hudson said, "Don't be sad for her passing, because we will always remember the way she lived her life, albeit too brief." Those patches in honor of Alyssa Cavanaugh, a star athlete and obviously a wonderful person, contribution to her community and to her university at Western Kentucky. Kentucky with a 4-point advantage. Eisenbarger had an opportunity on the overdig, and the margin for error. Western Kentucky is really good, undersized team at this level. Don't you agree, Salima? They have no margin for error.
They have no margin for error, and they missed a few serves. They're trying to serve tough, right? So that we've got, I think, 2 or 3 missed serves right now for Western Kentucky, and that's tough. That's going to make a big difference. They got to be clean, but they've been clean passing the ball right now.
Boy, nice play by high-flying Kaylin Jackson, wearing number 15 in black. That is really, really a nice play. Has fought through injuries off and on throughout the course of her career, but Coach Hudson telling her she's finally healthy. She looked really bouncy on that particular play.
She sure did. Tell you what, they look fresh. They look like they're ready to go, and I think it's nice having the experience playing one another. They know each other well. They know what works against one another with that history in state. So Western Kentucky's up for the challenge for sure tonight.
Nice first block by Matthews out of the middle. Beautiful dig in the right back. Off speed deflection off Matthews, and gets that ball to the floor.
That's a smart play by Avery Skinner. The block is there, it's set and ready to go, and she just tips that ball just inside the block a little bit, gets a little bit of a lucky roll as well.
You think these teams are well coached and well scouted and well prepared? You look at the numbers, they're each hitting 100 points below their season average. Jackson again ripping down the right side.
Well, and that's the best part of this whole thing, and I love the tournament where you get to scout these teams, you know teams well. These 2 teams in particular doing a nice job, at least slowing them down a little bit and bringing them down to earth. Both teams that are leading the nation in hitting percentage. Right now, just under 300 each team.
Western Kentucky got to make a little move here, and they need a break, and they get one there. Getzinger missed that shot into the top of the tape from Madison Lilly. The lead is 2. Good pass to the outside once again to the freshman Maddie Skinner, putting that ball away. Hit .384 playing on the perimeter.
Well, I tell you, in rotation 1, when she's on the left side, I mean, it's almost an automatic side out, giving her that ball over there. So they like to run that go to her, and she can just score at will.
Tight pass. Judinay just had to keep that ball in play, and that is just buried off the right side by Maddie Skinner, and now set points for the Wildcats.
Nice controlled play on the Kentucky side, and Skinner coming up with a kill.
You know, Western Kentucky, because of their lack of size, has got to take some chances blocking, but Madison Lilly is making really good choices, one-on-one all over the place. And there's a big block by Getzinger to close out the opening set. Two teams with the ultimate respect for one another, but they both want to get to the same place, and there's only room for one. Kentucky takes the opening set 25-20 on the top side of a 7-3 run. Back in Omaha once again for the 40th NCAA Women's Volleyball Championship. Kentucky on top 1-0. Salima, there is our Uber for Tuesday, the ride from the airport or over to the arena. It's out in the open. social distance, we're all good, all good. Kentucky was very, very good, particularly in the latter stages as they continued to stretch the lead. And the numbers, they close at 281. They hold Western Kentucky to 231. And just a really solid all-around performance by the number 2 seeded Kentucky Wildcats. Once again, their highest seed ever. Let's remember that we'll have another Monday night NBA doubleheader for you on ESPN and the app. Steph and the Warriors are in Philadelphia to take on Joel Embiid. And the 76ers at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. Then it's out to Staples Center for a battle of the bigs. Rudy Gobert and the Jazz taking on the Lakers. Our coverage starts with Stephen A's pregame Sports Center at 7. Adjustments here for Western Kentucky, or what must they do in terms of what, just to raise their level just that little bit, because they were trailing by 2, trailing by 5, and then it was over.
I tell you, it got away from them in a hurry, but it was really Kentucky putting the ball on the floor in front of them offensively. So it's going to be tough if they're one-on-one. Defensive players might need to step up a little bit and come in and just kind of take it, crash a little bit more, and see if they can play some of the balls that way. They're doing a really nice job. Western Kentucky passing the ball well, playing good defense. But when Kentucky is one-on-one, that's where they've gotten themselves in a little bit of trouble.
Well, they being Kentucky, scored 17 points in the attack phase, 17 kills, had a couple of blocks. And Western Kentucky only 10 kills on 26 swings. They need to find a way to generate some more points. So far, Jackson has been very good. They need more from Paige Briggs. Big block to start things out, just the way it ended with Alyssa Getzinger, 6'4" freshman out of Wisconsin, 1.1 blocks per set. Part of what was the #1 recruiting class in the nation for the first time in Kentucky. Oh, good swing off the left.
I like that ball. The ball's a little bit off the net, but I like that. Gives her some room to swing. You're going to see Avery Davis out there on the outside, moving the ball around a little bit, but firing that ball off the net a little bit is going to give her some more space to hit around the block.
Salima, that's a great point. Judenet does need maybe to make an adjustment because her hitters are undersized relative to this block. You know that a smaller hitter, they need a little more room. That's a really good point. We'll look for that. Good coverage. And that ball, an unforced error into the net that time by Briggs.
Tough play by Briggs. Looking to maybe just chop that ball over the net and really reach high to the deep corners. Wanted to rip it a little bit more and hit the ball in the top of the tape.
Briggs now just 1 for 7. Rhea Walker has already made a really nice defensive save on for Kentucky. The winner of this will get Purdue off the edge. Moving Matthews around. You just don't, like Azani Teeler, you just don't know where she's going to pop up.
That's it, and it's not even that far, you know, just a little bit of space, and that's what Travis Hudson said. All she needs is some seams, some space, and she can find it. She can see it. So even just running her on a back 2 in a 2-hitter rotation, still she's going to be able to score.
Just good swings. Good quality swings, as Stumler does. She's already shown you sharp cross court, and now this time cross body down the line.
Well, and that's what Stumler does so well. She has a ton of shots. She can hit hard into the middle of the court, but when she sees a block in front of her, she sees it and finds that room between the outside blocker and the antenna.
There is Curry. Judenet. Pretty good set in the middle, but an opportunity early here for Kentucky again. Dug down the line. Briggs is blocked. Azani Teeler along with Maddie Skinner out on the left side.
Again, if Western Kentucky is out of system, it's going to be a little more of a challenge for them, just being a little bit more undersized, and Kentucky can get their block set. Briggs still working, trying to find her way around that block.
Yeah, I'm not sure that ball even cleared. Briggs is going to have to change her trajectory a little bit. That was much better. High up into the hands, the weak part of the block, and a really important swing for Briggs.
Yep, she's going to make those adjustments and see the block and figure out how can I score here. And she's got game. She's got all that game. She can do it all.
Big time game. When I was watching her earlier in the tournament, she absolutely just jumped off the page when I saw Briggs. First team All-Conference USA. She's wearing number 1 in black. She was freshman of the year in the conference in 2019, and far and away the Hilltoppers' best ball handler. Judinay with a pretty good touch. Nice rotation on the defense by Skinner. And then off the edge of the block and down. Kentucky is the number 2 seed for a reason. They are really good.
Well, they're just efficient. They read the play well. They're calm with their movements and where they're putting the ball. They're not taking crazy swings that don't exist, being smart with what they're doing to finish plays.
Briggs, that ball didn't clear either. So now the advantage continues to grow early. It is 7-3 to Kentucky. 22nd tournament appearance. Their 16th straight. Craig Skinner has done just a marvelous job looking for their first ever national semifinal. Mentioned their highest ever seed previously was 4th in 2017 when they lost in a regional final in Lexington to Nebraska.
It's been fun watching Craig Skinner build this team and watch it get better and better over the years, and he's built it to be one of the powerhouses in the country. And watching them play this year, it's evident why they're the number 2 seed.
Nice swing once again, one-on-one. Beautiful setting by Madison Lilly. And you mentioned the program that he has built at Kentucky. Really interesting note on this tournament, and there are lots of them. 3 teams from the Commonwealth of Kentucky advanced to this round. Louisville just got shocked by a comeback by Washington today, and these 2 teams. You know how many teams from California made it this far?
0.
Well, Oregon and Washington to the region, yeah, well, to West Coast, but none from California.
None from California, that's right.
How things have changed. Oh, beautiful offense once again. Avery Skinner.
And you'll see Western Kentucky's block. They're going to release with the slide on a perfect pass, and that leaves a one-on-one opportunity. So they're taking some chances with what they're doing blocking-wise, block scheming-wise. And so you're going to see some of these one-on-ones because of that as well.
Smart shot. Really smart shot off the edge of the block. Avery Davis, 5'10" sophomore out of Spring Hill, Tennessee. There's Katie Eisenbarger. Been pretty quiet so far. Nice play. Madison Lilly, certainly one of the best. Sydney Hilly. Hilly and Lilly.
Hilly and Lilly.
Hilly from Wisconsin.
Smart play. You see Matthews start to cheat to the right side of the court. That leaves an open opportunity for Lilly to score.
Western Kentucky is passing the ball pretty darn well. Nice dig by Stumler. That ball dug right on top of the tape. Logan Cale in a pretty good spot. But right on top for Kentucky Wildcats. They're taking the 11-6 advantage and a timeout called by the Hilltoppers, trying to stop this momentum. Number 2 seed, the Kentucky Wildcats, having it their way, up 1-0. They won the first 25-20, and now on top by 5 over the Hilltoppers. Kentucky on top, 11-6 here in the second, hitting a cool 636. 7 of 11, no errors so far for the Wildcats. How does Western Kentucky slow down this onslaught? And missed that ball out of bounds. Unforced error there by Kaylin Jackson.
Jackson looking for some hands, trying to find some room and trying to skip the ball off the hands of the blocker, and just misses high and deep.
So many weapons out there for Madison Lilly to distribute to. Azani Teeler, last 10 matches, is hitting over 500. Way over 558 over the last 10 matches played. Just a remarkable. And Kentucky, like Florida earlier in the evening, has played almost 2 seasons. They had their fall season, which began in October and went through the end of November, took a 2-month break, and then came back in January. It has been a long volleyball season for all of these young women. Nice pass off the edge of the block and down. What a reception there on the short serve.
Unbelievable job on the side of Kentucky handling that ball. As you said, you see Avery Skinner fly in there, and a nice job by Madison Skinner hitting that ball off the edge of Matthews even.
Working on the libero, Kale, and should be an opportunity, and Briggs coming up short once again.
They're gonna need Briggs to try and find a way. She's second on the team in kills, overall kills, and she's gonna have to find her rhythm here pretty quickly.
Tight pass, Judinay. Lilly was all over that. Good block. Nicely done by Lauren Matthews. What a talented volleyball player in the middle with a stuff block. She averages 1.2%.
That's a big old block too. She gets up. Certainly Kentucky's gonna have to look at hitting around, maybe over top of Judinay, a little bit hitting that ball down the line, a little cleaner down the line than right into Matthews.
Kentucky's first contact and reception and during rallies is really good. An opportunity here, up into the block, not yet. Can you chase it down? No.
I tell you, I love the hustle on the part of Western Kentucky. They're going hard, covering plays, just giving it absolutely everything they have right now on the defensive end. Really going hard.
There's that higher set in the middle, but missed out of bounds. How does Western Kentucky find some space for Paige Briggs? Don't they have to move her around a little bit? She's not going to have much success trying to bang away against this really big, long block.
No, and they can move her in a little bit, try to even speed it up, say, hey, let's run a faster go to the outside and see if we can get some splits there right now.
Going behind off the edge, and a nice side out by Matthews. Kentucky right now is siding out at 76%. I mean, that is that's the kind of number that wins a national championship.
Absolutely. They're handling the ball well, but even when they're not, Lilly keeps them in system all the time. She's off the net, getting one-on-ones. Perfect example there as well.
Azani Teeler, is she still perfect? Yep, now a perfect 6 for 6.
Just teeing off right now.
Number 4 in the nation in hitting efficiency is 5'10" senior Azani Teeler, and used very, very smartly by Craig Skinner. Briggs finally finds some space and rips that ball. That's a better matchup. Not going against Getzinger is about 6'3", 6'4". Better against Teeler into the cross court.
No, for sure. And that's what they need. A little bit faster ball. Let her get on that thing quick, because she can hit hard and quick. So if they can get that ball to her as fast as they can to the pin, she can get on it.
Off speed. Nice play by Judinay to try to keep that ball alive, but point possession to Kentucky and give the kill to Stumler on the off speed. Kentucky advanced. They, as the number 2 seed in this bracket at 48 teams, the top 16 seeds had a bye. They beat UNLV 3-0, hit 468 in their first round match. And if you're not familiar with the schedule here in Omaha, after the second round was completed, all of the athletes' teams had 2 days off And so they had Friday and Saturday off. The regional semifinals today and tonight. On Sunday, the regional finals tomorrow. And then the national semifinals will be on Thursday, and the championship match on Saturday, all of it here in Omaha. The Kentucky Wildcats, another superb season, 20-1, another SEC championship. One other SEC team has already advanced to a regional final. That was the Florida Gators. Fourth straight SEC title, and trying to take it one step further, have never been to a national semifinal. They will play, the winner of this match will play Purdue tomorrow.
Kentucky is certainly poised to be in that position. They have all the positions they need. They have the players they need to play at the highest level. They've shown that they can play with the top teams. I think I'm excited to see what happens, of course, in this match, but to see where Kentucky ends up.
Coming out of the timeout, pretty comfortable lead for Stumler and Kentucky over the Hilltoppers. And that ball tucked down inside again, working against Teeler. And explain how a coach, Salima, can move their rotation to get a more advantageous matchup.
Well, they can just flip where they're starting. I'm assuming that's what you mean, that they can start in a different position. They can flip from who's their first server, and then they can get into a completely different matchup, especially if you know what the other team is doing.
Oh, Judinay coming down the line, and Avery Skinner very concerned, delivering a hard shot. That was a hard facial, and Nadia Judinay went down immediately. That was a really tough shot.
Yeah, that was tough. She was coming up the line, kind of creeping up the line a little bit, and Skinner cut it down the line.
Yeah, that was just a straight shot from a very, very powerful athlete in Avery Skinner, and you could tell immediately that Skinner was quite concerned. It's going to take a moment for her to walk this off, as a very concerned Travis Hudson comes over to check on his star setter. Setter of the year in Conference USA out of Louisville, Kentucky in 2019, first team all conference. They were laughing it off a little bit. Yeah, well, that's good to see.
At least she's able to crack some jokes and make her coach laugh a little bit here. And Avery Skinner.
Yeah, it's great. You know, remember, we're not going to try to conjure that this is a rivalry match and for bragging rights in the Commonwealth. These two teams have incredible respect for one another, the way they play. Their coaches are very, very close, and they've built very, very successful programs. Craig Skinner in his 16th year, Travis Hudson in his 26th. And of course, with much more caution, and appropriately so, being paid today because of concussions and whatnot. There have been a lot of volleyball players that have missed time because of concussions.
Yeah, I mean, it's when you get hit with a ball like that, I mean, it comes on you fast, and that can rock you a little bit.
Well, so we'll keep an eye on Nadia Judinay, and Kentucky now leading 19-11, still shaking it off. Swing off the edge of the block and down. Avery Davis only averages 1.5 kills per set. Been kind of a revelation. She's having some success going high up into the Kentucky block.
Well, she's definitely stepped up. That's what Western Kentucky needs. They need some more people scoring right now, other than Kaylin Jackson and, of course, Lauren Matthews.
I have really been impressed with Madison Lilly. She is getting one-on-one all the time. The offensive numbers over 370. Good cover by Stumler there, but a net violation will nullify that.
Looks like Judenay still trying to get her bearings and shake off that hit. See if she can keep her focus here. And hopefully her passers can continue to give her the ball so she doesn't have to run around too much.
Perfect pass and a really good swing inside once again. Kaylin Jackson, Avery Davis are really doing their thing. But in this particular set, Salima, Kentucky's hitting 550. Western Kentucky 0-4-0. 550.
Yeah, that's an astronomical number.
Yeah,
right now.
Championship numbers, and they were siding out at 76%. Skinner off the edge of the block and down for another kill.
Nice job by Skinner here, seeing this block. Matthews gets over there and gets set, but she still hits it high and off the edge of the block. You'll see Logan Kale just on her heels a little bit there.
And that long range underhand or bump set by Madison Lilly, right on target, absolutely right on target. We're going to have a substitution. Judenay is going to go to the sideline, replaced by Taylor Bibout, senior out of Decatur, Indiana. So still very much feeling the effects of taking that hard shot to the face from Avery Skinner. Boy, nice play. The offense stays the same, running it right through Lauren Matthews again.
Really nice. And I tell you, something we haven't talked about is how Western Kentucky is passing with mostly with two, which is very difficult to do at a high level, at any level for that matter. And they're handling the ball well, moving their feet, getting around the ball, and really controlling it in a two-person serve receive.
Yeah, I don't think the ball handling has been a problem. Kentucky offers up some real obstacles offensively and in the block and defense phase. Service winner there by Ashley Hood. The winner gets Purdue tomorrow. Purdue, the #7 seed, and Dave Shondell has really got a good team. Very, very talented. Stumler. And Skinner off the top of the block. You could hear the touch. That is just a rocket by Skinner. Middle blocker, Getzinger goes to the sideline. Gabby Curry on to serve. So look at this, is really good ball control by Western Kentucky. Nicely done by Paige Briggs, hanging in after a rough start.
I'm telling you, in this serve receive pattern, it's tough. It's tough to do, and they're very, very good. This is an elite passing team, this Western Kentucky team.
Teeler again, staying perfect, so tough to stop. 7 for 7.
And even the sets in front, not running many quicks at all, if any at all. Just kind of laying it up there for her in the middle of the court, letting her go get it.
Let's look at the two-player receive, Salima, that you were talking about. Just two players back there covering the court.
It's crazy. You watch how they move and how they handle the ball, and that was a really good serve.
Stumler through the block and down. Kentucky in complete control right now. And once again, when we talked to Western Kentucky head coach Travis Hudson, he said, look, I'm a common sense guy. I want my two best passers touching the ball and serve receive. Why would I want someone who's third on that list receiving serve? So we're willing to give up some more. And they've been really solid in serve receive. Set points. Down the line, what a dig. Briggs hard off the block, but stuffed by Kentucky on the end line, and they take a commanding 2-0 lead over Western Kentucky. Purdue is waiting in the wings. Kentucky looks all of a national title contender. Up 2-0 over the Hilltoppers. Welcome back once again to Omaha, Nebraska, side of this year's NCAA Volleyball Championships, the 40th edition with Salima Rockwell. I'm Paul Sunderland, and Kentucky looks absolutely dynamic right around the dial in every phase of the game. Their setter, Madison Lilly, has been remarkable. They're hitting .407 so far and lead this match 2-0. Welcome back. I'm in Southern California. Paul Sunderland. Salima Rockwell joins me once again, the three-time All-American from Penn State in Austin, Texas. First of all, your thoughts on Kentucky. And this is a really good Western Kentucky team. They play the game the right way. They play it uniquely. But Kentucky's just got too much right now. They're too good.
Well, it's every phase of the game too. They can handle the ball well, and they play good defense. But the amount of pressure they're putting on Western Kentucky right now offensively is just too much. They need two blockers everywhere, and they can't have two blockers everywhere, and that's a problem. When it's one-on-one opportunity for Kentucky, they're gonna score.
And Western Kentucky, unfortunately, maybe has lost their setter. So we'll fill you in on that as we move along into the third set. An update on a very busy and eventful day. Wisconsin won yesterday over BYU. Florida earlier. A really solid match by the Gators, Salima, over Ohio State. What did you see in that one that you saw from Florida that can give them a chance against Wisconsin?
Well, what I liked, what Florida was doing, they were running their offense through the back row. Of course, Tara Caesar had a fantastic match, but they were running that in system. It wasn't just like an out-of-system ball. They were running it as part of their offense, and they were able to come back. They were down, and they were able to push and be resilient, and that's the key in the tournament. Can you be resilient, and can you come back when you're down some points? And that's what Florida showed tonight.
And let's not overlook Texas and Nebraska. We could talk for an hour about that one. That one's coming up tomorrow as well. Pittsburgh, an unseeded team, the 13th team unseeded all time to make it to a regional final. And the comeback kings from Washington, they took out Louisville. What about Purdue? We haven't talked about them much, but they've had their best season in a long time, and it looks like they're going to play Kentucky.
I tell you, Purdue is a solid team. They've got an excellent setter in Bush, Grace Cleveland, of course, on the outside, Jill Johnson and Taylor Trammell in the middle. So it's just an all-around really solid team that can do everything well.
Eisenbarger will get things started here in the third set for Western Kentucky, and the ball immediately stuffed on the outside. Give you some of the early numbers. Stumler with 9 kills, Maddie Skinner with 8, her sister Avery with 7, Azani Teeler a perfect 7 for 7, and Kentucky hitting .400 so far in the match. And as we thought, unfortunately, Nadia Judenet, who took that very, very hard shot from Avery Skinner. You know, you never aim at anybody. It was completely inadvertent if you're not familiar with the game. And it was just that Judenet was in a really bad spot. So she has been replaced here in the third set. One-on-one again. Ripped into the cross court by Skinner.
Well, it's difficult for the libero to even know where to be, because she's got so much range in that left back of the court from the 10-foot line all the way to the end line. She can hit that ball with so much range.
Probably took Nadia Judenet into the tent for concussion protocol and make sure health and safety. I mean, haven't we been talking about that for a year? Health and safety means everything, and we wish her the very best. The setter of the year in Conference USA, 5'8" senior out of Louisville, has had a wonderful career for the Hilltoppers. Really good swing to get things started by Lauren Matthews, who has certainly done her part. 7 kills on 12 swings, hitting .417 against Kentucky. One-on-one.
I love that pass by Avery Skinner. The ball was behind her. She ended up passing it, spun around, 360 on her hip, and perfect pass to the target.
Good pass off speed, and that ball just a little bit out of bounds for Briggs. Once again, Western Kentucky, Salima, has first contact. That's not what's hurt them.
Not at all. It's some of it at the net where they're trying to hit around the block, but they're hitting into the block. Sometimes they're working on avoiding it, and then they're hitting out, like the last swing you saw with Briggs.
Good block touch, and Gabby Curry right on target. Madison Lilly is a heck of an athlete. She gets her feet to the ball and got in wonderful position to deliver that.
Well, and that's what she does so well. She can move the ball around from wherever she is on the court. She's quick. She's smooth on her feet. And she's got a great release.
Right side, ball set a little bit tight. Smartly just kept in play. Matthews again. Wow, I watched their match against UNLV, against Washington State, and she was just tremendous. Beat Washington State, the number 15 seed, 3-2 in that match. She had 20 kills on 42 swings.
And they were right in front of her. They had 2 blockers on her. She was hitting on top of it, hitting around it, tipping over the top. Just a phenomenal performance by Matthews against Washington State.
Western Kentucky is going to get back in this, which is going to be a tall task against the quality opponent that they're facing now. Going to have to find something to get going from the service line. Game is just coming too easy right now to Stumler and the rest of the Wildcats. Another wonderful play in the backcourt.
You see Kentucky just laying out in the right back area of the court, transitioning and scoring. So they're not just siding out at a high clip like we talked about before. And that right now, I think it's at 80%. They're also transitioning at an extremely high rate as well.
Rhea Walker and Lauren Tharp, the DSs for Craig Skinner, have come in and done a really good job as well. Look at Stumler covering behind the block. Western Kentucky wanted a net violation. Travis Hudson is up off the sideline, and again, Azani Teeler finishes the point.
She was trying to set Lily earlier and wanted her to get a kill. It's so funny. She was getting excited about the idea of it, but Teeler coming through down the line to finish the play.
We're going to have a challenge here. Earlier in the rally, I mentioned that the Western Kentucky coaching staff was up off the sideline. Craig Skinner is the winningest coach in Kentucky history this year. Makes it 4 times he was the SEC Coach of the Year. 16 straight tournament appearances, and now they've been on the cusp. And as he's been better and better each and every year, and his program has, the folks down in Lexington might have a chance this year to see their Wildcats in the national semifinals. Western Kentucky or Kentucky, excuse me, Salima, I'm sorry, will play Purdue tomorrow. And then come the national semifinals to look ahead, they would play the winner on that side of the draw of Washington and Pittsburgh. How's your bracket doing? Is your bracket holding up?
It's hanging in there, but I mean, is it over? If I was wrong, then it's over. It was pretty good.
I did not have Morehead State early on. I mean, there's been so many interesting matches in this tournament. Morehead State broke the hearts of a lot of folks here in Omaha. There's a net violation. It was there. So you can go back in the point. They found that, took out Creighton. And remember the big battle between Pepperdine and Baylor, and prior to that, Washington came in and had a tremendous battle against Dayton. Did I say it was Pepperdine and Baylor? So there have been some just tremendous matches to start this tournament off.
Some really good matches, and it's been such, as we all know, such an interesting season, and everyone's been in different phases of their training, playing, or how long had it been since they'd even played a match before they got to the NCAA. So it's been really, really tough for a lot of teams. Impressed with everyone and how they battled this year throughout such a trying time.
That ball over the top off speed. Nicely done. They continue to pass the ball pretty darn well. What a dig after the crush by Eisenbarger. Still couldn't get that to the floor.
I'll tell you, this is a high swing. She was going high over the top, crushed this ball, like you said. But Stumler coming up with it, getting a point.
We'll step aside. Kentucky forces the early timeout. The Wildcats are rolling. 2-0, 9-4 in the third. A long, thrilling, dramatic, exciting day of college volleyball coming to a close. Every spot in the regional finals is filled but one, and right now Kentucky, the #2 overall seed, firmly looks on the way, but Western Kentucky will certainly have an answer about that. There is Madison Lilly out of Overland Park, Kansas, an All-American for sure, first team All-SEC. And when we were speaking to Craig Skinner, he reminded us and told us a great story. He said she came to camp for the first time as a 7th grader and was the best player there and one of the best athletes in the entire camp. Now, you've done a lot of camp work, Salima. She's in the 7th grade. There are kids in that camp that are juniors and seniors in high school.
Oh, yeah, that's saying a lot. And I remember her as a young player, one of the best setters that I'd seen, athletes, like he says. I mean, she is just a phenomenal player. And to see her develop and grow over the years here at Kentucky has been really fun to watch.
Unforced error out of the backcourt, and the lead continues to grow for Kentucky, trying to take that final step. They've been to the regional final before, I think most recently in 2017, when they lost to the eventual NCAA champions, the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Azani Teeler has been perfect, and it continues with an ace into the cross court.
She threaded that needle. She got that ball right in the corner, deep corner sideline, right where she wanted it to go.
Good read defensively that time by Tharp, #5, and off the edge of the block. Boy, is this a well-coached team or what? They're in good spots.
Well, they play well off of each other. They know who's going to pick up what ball, and you see Skinner played the off blocker, and she just came in right behind her and knew this is the ball that I need to take in this situation.
That ball drifts just over the sideline, so now the advantage is 13-6. Azani Teeler once again, 8 of 9, a dig, a block, and a service ace. Nadia Judenet back on the floor. That is really a good sign. If you weren't with us, took a really hard shot right to the face down the line and spent a good bit of time on the sideline. Nice tip to the floor by Madison Lilly. The matchups right now: Wisconsin, Florida, Nebraska, Texas, Pittsburgh, Washington. I guess that would go down as a surprise for sure, with Minnesota being out, and then Purdue in the winner of this. Perfect dig right to the 3-meter line. Lots of room to swing. And then another kill off the right side. Perfect transition execution.
Kentucky just doing a phenomenal job handling the ball, controlling it off of the dig. And you'll see Western Kentucky gives a ton of space, though. They get back to the middle of the court. Both pin blockers are all the way out the antenna, so that's creating some of those spaces in the block as well.
Lauren Matthews, once again, it doesn't matter who the opponent is, how big they are or not. Doesn't matter if they're the #2 seed. She just puts up phenomenal numbers. 9 of 15, hitting .467. Service error there. You know, you look at a player, Salima, you coached at Penn State, your alma mater, you coached at Texas. I mean, Lauren Matthews as a 6-foot middle blocker wouldn't necessarily get on your radar, but what a player she is.
Well, and that's what Travis Huston does so well. He develops players. He sees players for what they can do and the upside they bring, and then he says, let's work this around them. Let's work this offense to maximize what you do well. And that's exactly what he did with Lauren Matthews. She's a phenomenal player. It's just, where do you put her? What do you do with her? And that's what he figured out, and that's what he's done.
Well, what you do is she averages 4 kills a set, hits 445 this year, hit 448 last year. That's pretty good. Nice cover. Covered again by Matthews, but a better block. 7th stuff block for the Wildcats. On their way.
Kentucky getting in good position again with a ball that's a little bit off the net, and you see their control. They're not reaching high, shooting their hands just over the net and being in a good spot to block that ball.
Walker on to serve, wearing number 9 in white, doing her job. Good ball control. Oh, a little bit of miscommunication that time between Maddie Skinner and Madison Lilly. One of the few mistakes. I've got 10 fingers, but if I want to count mistakes for Craig Skinner, I'm only getting to 2 or 3 all night long. They have been very clean.
Very clean.
Stumler again. Fine-tuned machine. Stumler now with 13 kills, hitting 417 as a team after hitting 468 against UNLV, now hitting 427 against Western Kentucky. Nice play. Off the edge that time by Briggs.
Really nice job by Briggs. We talked to Travis Hudson, and he just said what a phenomenal all-around volleyball player she is and how hard she battles. And she's got every skill and plays every skill at an extremely high level.
Chance here in transition. Eisenbarger not able to get the ball to the floor. What a smart shot by Stumler, finding the open area right in front of the middle back.
And that's something she takes just a little bit off of it. You don't have to swing hard, even if that ball, even if there's no block in front of you. Just be smart with it, see what's available on the court. And that's exactly what she did at about 60%.
When I was talking to Craig Skinner earlier in the season about Allie Stumler, he said she very favorably compares to USA Olympian Kelsey Robinson, an All-American at Tennessee and Nebraska. That's a pretty good comparison, because Karch Kirai considers Kelsey Robinson one of the top 4 left sides in the world right now.
Yep. I tell you, Allie Stumler's playing like one of the top outsides in the country right now, hitting 423. And just really having a field day. Actually, 444, excuse me, the stats just updated.
Salima, I know that a lot of it has to do with matchups, right? Who your opponent was. But, I mean, who do you favor tomorrow when you look at those regional finals? And where would you put Kentucky based on the way they played today?
Well, I tell you, I mean, Kentucky looks so good right now, and they're just playing. You know, it really doesn't matter. You know, this is a very good Western Kentucky team, but, you know, I like how they play. I always have throughout the course of the season. I just like what they have to offer from every position. I'm a big fan.
Eisenbarger is stuffed, and this one just a couple of points away. Got to put you on the spot. You worked at Texas for a while. Who do you pick between Nebraska and Texas?
Ooh, put me on the spot.
On the set, exactly. I don't know. That's why I asked you.
Well, I tell you, it's a tough one because they both offer different things and they play different styles of volleyball. But they're 2 of the top teams for a reason. You know, the 4 and the 5 playing against one another. Man.
And Salima, let's remember that Lauren Stivrins didn't play today.
Yes, that is
so
true.
Nursing an injury, and it wasn't COVID related. She was on the bench today, so she's going to be available tomorrow. And I think that the Nebraska coaching staff, when you look at the bracket, thought that they could get past Baylor today without her and then maybe save her. Match point now for Kentucky. A touch off the top of the block. Nice kill by Eisenbarger in Western Kentucky, who's had not a good season, a magnificent season, but this was just too much of an ask. They will finish their year with a record of 23-1, and these two teams have the ultimate respect for one another. What a job Travis Hudson has done. Probably had lots of opportunities to leave, but wanted to stay in the Commonwealth and lead his alma mater. And Allie Stumler, Zani Teeler, Maddie Skinner, and of course Madison Lilly have led Kentucky 3-0 into the regional finals. That was a special performance. Let's take a look now at the updated bracket. As we've told you, Purdue a 3-1 win over a very dangerous team from Oregon. It's the best Purdue team I've seen probably in the last decade for sure. They are solid all the way around. Washington and Pittsburgh in the top of that bracket. That'll be very interesting indeed. Let's take a look at the other side. Wisconsin and Florida. Of course, the Badgers, I wouldn't say prohibitive, but a big favorite over the 8-seed Florida Gators. And then an absolute pick'em, Lauren Stivrins. The question mark, Nebraska and Texas. Now, Salima, your thoughts on this Saturday? This was an amazing day from start to finish.
It was an amazing day. Just watching all of the matches and how tightly contested most of them were today is it exactly what you hope for and exactly what you're expecting in the NCAA tournament. It was wild. Teams were coming back from huge deficits, and fun to watch a couple of upsets as well. But this is what the tournament is all about.
Tomorrow it'll be Pittsburgh and Washington starting on ESPN2 at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. For Salima Rockwell, I'm Paul Sunderland saying so long from the CHI Health Center in Omaha. Final score once again, Kentucky over Western Kentucky, 3-0. Thanks so much for joining us, and thanks to all of our wonderful crew. How did you get this done? The finals of the regionals coming up tomorrow.